You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Splash it on, shake it on, spray it on. Denim makes Christmas go with a bang. Denim for the man who doesn't have to try too hard.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back. I've had a bit of a break. Unintended, unplanned. I was hoping I'd do a podcast before now, but I haven't. And here we are, towards the end of the year. I wanted to throw out a final 2024 podcast, or retro Edcast, really just to thank everyone for their support and their friendship. And I say every ruddy year, but I had no idea where the last 12 months have gone. It doesn't feel that long ago since last Crimbo. It really doesn't, but that's life. I think it just accelerates the older you get, so make the bloody most of it. For this one, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to whiz through some of the highlights of the year, some of the key stuff of note, a quick cheeky announcement towards the end, so hang around for that. And probably because I'll forget, I'll say it now. Tomorrow, which is Saturday the 21st of December, in the evening UK time. I don't have the actual time in front of me, but I will put it in the comments, the description to this video. But Sean, Retro Games Revived, he's organising, or has organised, done a great job too, this year's Secret Santa. So there'll be a combination, I think, people that can't make it chucking in videos that Sean will play on the stream. I'm sure that Paul, the awesome Inked Northerner, is kind of helping him out, a bit of a co-host, so he'll be on there as well. But there'll be other people jumping on, including myself. I think I'm on about 8:30 to open up my Secret Santa. So really looking forward to that. Come and join if you can, if you're free. A nice little way to hopefully get into Christmas. No singing. Also been part of a Secret Santa with a group of people. It's like a Discord, the Retro Collective. It's like a bit of an international cast. Say YouTubers. I don't think everyone on there's a YouTuber, but the common denominator is people just love their retro gaming. And I had a package kindly sent all the way over from, I think it's from the States. Certainly came over the Atlantic, either States or Canada. No idea who it is, who sent it, but I'll be opening that. I'll do that video perhaps this weekend with a view to uploading it then, and then sending it for live probably Christmas Day or something like that. So if anyone really doesn't have a life and has nothing better to do than watch a retro ed video, then there'll be something waiting for you. So I'm hoping no one watches it, which would mean that your social lives are way more exciting than mine, that's for sure. So going into the highlights of the year, as always, really, I mean, events are the key thing. So attended quite a few, perhaps not as many as the year before, but it feels like I've been at loads, and each of them have been pretty cool. Nottingham, did that one. London, a couple of the London gaming markets. Blackpool, got to say Blackpool was probably the best of the best, mainly because of who turned up. Like, even if the event hadn't happened and we'd just been in a pub or just in the bloody car park, just seeing everyone there, lots of faces, lots of people I hadn't met, a few people I had met before, which was great to catch up with them again. But just the mass of folk was truly amazing. And I think for all of these as well, even the journeys to these events have been pretty memorable. Quite often I've had Scott, Marathon Gaming, in the motor. We've attended a lot of the same events together, which has been an absolute joy to travel with that crazily cool guy. Al as well, so Alex, You Start Gaming, joined us for the Blackpool one, which is probably the furthest distance we've done, the furthest up north I've gone this year, and that was great. So always a giggle, plenty of wrong turns. And I think it could be a year where no rabbits were run over, no rabbits were harmed during the journeys. So that's got to be quite special. Yeah, talking of, I guess, events and broader meetups, had a really good time at Sega Zombie Scott's birthday bash. Again, yeah, he was the hostess with the mostest. Fab time, and just seeing a lot of faces. Quite a few people there weren't at the Blackpool ones, or perhaps weren't at some of the other ones. So it was just really nice to catch up with folk, play some games, played a lot of arcade stuff, listened to some tunes, had a few beers. So it was mighty fine. So that was a really cool thing to do over the summer, which feels like a long time ago, but it wasn't really, was it? Hey ho. Other highlights, in terms of YouTube, fairly steady Eddie, I'd say, in terms of subscribers, in terms of views. But you know what? That's perfectly fine by me, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting a bit better at not overlooking. Over examining, over kind of critiquing the numbers and the analytics and all of that stuff, and just trying to think that this is not an effing job. It's craps and giggles, shits and giggles. It's just about having the the exchange and the banter. Genuinely, the key thing is really just to have the fun. So that's cool. I've been a bit lazy. I haven't done a like for like, because that'll be looking at the numbers. But I'm sure I put out fewer videos this year than I did last year. Been fewer pickups, that's for sure. I'd say that my collection is, I know they evolve, don't they? If there's any collector will know, but it feels like it's kind of firming up, and the fewer items I have on my list, or that I'd like to grab, are a bit more expensive. So it's kind of fewer pickups when something comes in. Holy Grail, the Grail items probably too extreme a term, but yeah, nice kind of needed items are, they're going to be more expensive. Needed, nothing's needed. Remaining items are going to be a bit more pricey, so there's going to be fewer of them. But I think more of the same. 2025, which seems to be a principle I'm holding for most things in my life, a bit kind of work, family, and YouTube, and other bits. More of the same. I'll try to get some, further, or certainly aim to get, podcasts done. I will do some pickups, even like I say, even if they're a bit fewer in number. And there's quite a lot of things still in my collection. I didn't start my collection when I started YouTube 4 or 5 years ago. I started my collection, pretty much from the moment that I received my first toy, because some of that stuff is still with me. So as a result, I've got a good, without fully declaring my age, over 40 years of things which wouldn't have made it onto a pickup, or perhaps not even on a little room tour or whatever, just because they're locked away elsewhere or separate part of the collection. So maybe some of that stuff will come forth a little bit. Talking about the collecting highlights, I've got to say I'm pretty happy with the Game Boy editions that have come in this year. I made a really decent, it sounds a bit strange, but like decent kind of connection, almost like friendship, with an eBay guy who's selling off his collection. And I think it pays to, it doesn't pay to not be polite, but I think in certain things, just to go the extra mile does help. And as a result, we exchanged some good, some stories, some collection picks, because he collects a lot of other things. He's got like a Walkman collection of, I think it's over about 100. He's got like proper rabbit holes. I can kind of see why he's giving up. He's moving on the Game Boy bits. But yeah, so some really cool friendship there. And as a result, I've got some really fair deals. I certainly haven't taken the piss, but I've had some very fair deals through, getting bulk purchases, building up a bit of rapport on some absolute classics. I've got a lot more first-party Nintendo Game Boy games now in the collection. Some fairly, common ones I was just missing, or quite a few where, just had cart only, or a few little manuals. So, and he's a real, proper collector. So he only really bought stuff that was decent quality. So therefore, by default, I've inherited stuff of a decent quality. So I'm pleased with that. Really chuffed, not through him, but through another seller. Really pleased to get Dick Tracy into the collection. It's a game that's evaded me for quite some time. Probably one of the bigger payouts of the year. Not a cheap one, but I'm glad to have it ticked off. But it's just a, you know, it's a nice thing to have. It's not the best of games, but I do love all things, you know, Dick Tracy. So even the box art and just it's just classic. It really makes me happy. It sounds a bit strange, like I say, in the pecking order of Game Boy games in terms of how well they play. Wouldn't be that high at all, but it's out of everything. It's kind of puts a smile on my face. So I don't know, maybe that says something around the balance of collecting and actually playing games. That's a good thing or not, but the main thing is keeps me happy. Also really pleased, and again I think it was through Sore Thumbs, who were at one of the London gaming markets. I've probably been at most of them, if not all of them, but one of them, when they were there, I bought for me a grail, the boxed Game & Watch Gold Cliff game that I had, Nintendo game I had growing up. My dad bought me as we were going on holiday. A bit of a lucky purchase. So you got box one, really nice condition. So I'm delighted with that. Moving on to toys, didn't really pick up many, but I'm pleased with what I grabbed. A few little Tomy items, Dick Tracy figures, and it's probably about it. There's a few, companies, new companies making kind of retro inspired toys. So the odd figure I picked up from them, which again I'm pretty chuffed with. So that's not much to be said on toys. Music, so restarted as they started up, but restarted the vinyl collection. Probably got a good 30 records now. Some cracking soundtracks, some film soundtracks, some probably some TV show soundtracks in there as well. If you think of like Cowboy Bebop and Twin Peaks, and some video game soundtracks as well. I picked up some classic albums, and it's looking good. I'm playing the record players in our kitchen, and when I'm cooking up a storm on an evening, then I like to lay down some Vinny vinyl, play a few tunes. So that's cool. And I think looking into 2025, nothing like overly specific. Definitely got my eyes on a few Game Boy titles. One of the Blues Brothers games, which actually is a very, very good game. Would love to get that box. I don't think it's crazy. It's not crazy money. It's probably a bit of a middle of the road one, but it's a very good platformer. I would really love to get some further Dick Tracy figures in. This is a rabbit hole. Not too many in terms of the full set. I think it was like one wave that they did. I've got either like 15 or 25, but loose, which I'm more than happy with. Loose, they're not that expensive. I picked up, and it's a great place to go searching for stuff. But on Vinted, I managed to get Dick Tracy's, and the Dick Tracy figure, arguably, was the most common one that was released for £1, plus a bit of P&P, like a couple of quid P&P. So lots of them are under £5, so I'd be quite keen to get stuck into that. I've got a couple. I've got Dick Tracy as well on card, and Sam Catcham, one of the detectives, also on card. But the Al Pacino character, I'd quite like to get him on card if possible. But we'll see. But that's something interesting kind of collection to go for, which really won't break the bank, and I could do it very leisurely over time, just for £2-3 here and there. If I do for some reason win the lottery, never going to happen, but I'd love to get some more like Ulysses 31 bits, like some of those toys. Quite rare now, and I say rare, uncommon, rare to find them in decent condition, and everything is mainly because a lot of them are die cast and they just chip, and they're if they're played with, they're not going to be looking fresh at all. They're quite little vulnerable toys, and bits of kind of die cast, bits of plastic kind of mixed in as well, so it's not a great combination. But if there's a lottery landslide and I have some cash, then I'd jump on a plane to France or the Eurostar where lots of these figures seem to be, and and go for it. But yeah, wishful thinking.
Enjoy Christmas and New Year with the TV Times double issue. A feast of star-studded films, comedy, drama, variety on ITV and Channel 4.
And in terms of it, under the Christmas tree, yeah, what am I kind of expecting? Not really expecting very much. I think my wife has got a bit of Britpop, 90s Britpop vinyl for me, so I'm expecting that. Not expecting any like video games or other bits, which is fine. And I think, you know, if my wife realised the true costs of these games, which she does kind of know, I think, you know, the divorce would be accelerated for 2025. Perhaps I get some silly stupid socks. I used to have this random thing at work on a Friday where I'd bowl up in stupid socks, ridiculous socks, that as Fridays, because Friday was like casual Friday. You didn't have to wear like a suit or anything. This is when I was going to like in work all day, all week, every day of every week. But yeah, this is a few years back. Things got sillier and sillier, and I think by the end I was wearing socks with little Superman capes, socks that look like sandals, socks that have a little I think day release prisoners tag on them, like all sorts. So yeah, inevitably someone will get me some silly socks, I am sure. But yeah, for Crimbo itself, a few days off, split between here, Casa Retro Ed, and my in-laws. Going to be pretty chilled, to be honest. I'm hoping should be the holy trilogy that is food, booze, and games, and I'll be a happy man. Coolio. So that leaves really just to say, yeah, very quick announcement. If I remember, I'll put it within the description of the video, but on Friday the 27th of December, the day after Boxing Day, about 11 a.m, late morning, I'll be at the Retro Hunter. Fantastic, retro video game place. It does toys, it does all sorts now, which is cool. But Retro Hunter, Leigh, Sea Essex, are going to be meeting up with a few other YouTuber folk from the community. So if you're around, and quite clearly you probably need to be in the vicinity of the southeast and most certainly in the UK, come and join us. Bit of an open invite. The shop's going to be open, you know, anyway. So yeah, just trying to get a small kind of congregation of people, and we may well seeing how we do, we might hit some other retro shops nearby as well. We'll take some pictures. I don't know if we'll do a vid, but certainly take some pictures and bits which we'll post. And I won't say who the others are, apart from they're freaking awesome, and I'm delighted to be able to see them. Just in case, they don't want me to say, or they want to say elsewhere. But yeah, there'll be some cool peeps there. So yeah, Friday 27th, 11 a.m. or thereabouts at the Retro Hunter, Leigh, Sea Essex. And yeah, I think let's wrap stuff up. Have a freaking awesome year end, whatever your plans are. Cheers as always, and cheers again for the retro love this year. Means a heck of a lot. And yeah, catch you in 2025.
Do not forget to dislike and unsubscribe and all that uncool stuff. And by the way, the YouTube algorithm can go and kiss my old sprayed ass.